Stock market fear. It is a real thing. A lot of us struggle with investing in the stock market because of the fear we have around the stock market. It's very natural to experience this fear and anxiety when we are trying to invest our money because we definitely don't want to lose all of our money. So in today's video, I'm going to go over how to overcome this fear of investing in the stock market. Let's dive right in. Stock market fear is definitely real. So we really want to overcome this because the stock market can be such an advantage for us if we are using it properly. I know I have seen this in my own life. So let's dive in and talk about the different steps we can take to overcome this stock market fear. The first thing that I have found that works really well to overcoming stock market fear is to educate ourselves. We can learn about how the stock market works, about different investments that we can invest in inside of the stock market. The more informed and the more educated we become with regards to investing in the stock market, the less fear we are going to have. I know I have seen this in my own life. I was super nervous to start investing in the stock market, and I honestly thought I was going to lose all of my money. I was extremely nervous. And once I started researching how the stock market works and talking to some of my friends that are successful with investing in the stock market, I started to understand a little bit more about how it actually works and how I can avoid losing all of my money. And that being said, there is maybe a slim chance I could lose all of my money, but if that does happen, then there is something else going on in the world, and I'm going to really hope that I have my food storage in place because I don't think money is going to really help us in that situation. One thing that I learned when I was educating myself about the stock market is that the stock market is made up of actual companies. It's not just some random thing that we can't understand. We can think, all right, the stock market is actually businesses. We can invest in these businesses, which are providing goods and services for us. So it's not just some abstract thing. It's real companies. It's Amazon, it's Google, it's Apple, it's Microsoft, right? All of these companies that are providing different things for us. So it's very tangible when you think of it that way, that you're actually investing in companies, and it's not as abstract as just saying I'm investing in the stock market and not really knowing what that means. So we really want to take advantage of these different educational resources and educate ourselves about the stock market, because once we start to learn about it, it becomes less and less scary. And I feel like you are doing this today by coming here and watching this video. There are plenty of videos out there that talk about investing in the stock market. There's also different podcasts, and there's also different books. And speaking of books, I do have my new book out, You Will Be Financially Free, where I go over exactly how I invested in the stock market so you can learn how to do it as well. And then the second thing we can do to overcome the stock market fear is to focus on our long-term financial goals. If we have this short-term mindset and we just want a quick win, we are not going to be very successful in the stock market, at least from what I have seen. So we want to really focus on what are our goals, what are our investment goals. Do we want to save up to put money toward a down payment on a house? We can definitely be investing money in order to do that. We want to be careful that we don't need this money right away, but we can set certain goals and get our money invested in the stock market, because it is definitely going to work a lot better for us if we have it invested rather than just sitting in a savings account. And for me personally, I did this when I bought my fourth property. I had money in the stock market, and I ended up taking some of that money out and putting it toward my down payment. And of course, we want to keep that long-term mindset, because if we are ready to pull that money out within 2 years and the stock market is way down, that's not going to work for us. But if we are thinking, you know what, down the road, I know I want to eventually buy a house, so we can start investing in the stock market and just realize that it's going to go up and down. But if we can keep a more long-term perspective, we're going to do a lot better with our investments. And even if you want to split your money and save half of it in a savings account for that down payment and invest half of it, it might take you a little bit longer to build up the savings if you're just going to pull from savings. But when you are ready, maybe your investments have grown over that certain time frame and you are able to pull them out and have significantly more than if you just left it all in a savings account. Or maybe your long-term financial goal is to retire or even retire early. That became one of my goals. So I wanted to invest as much money as possible. And yes, I do invest in real estate and the stock market. I do both of those together. But you can definitely just choose to invest in the stock market. It is a lot more simple and a lot less time consuming. If it is something you are interested in doing and you do want help with it, I have a free masterclass. I go over how I can help you invest in the stock market. I will leave a link to that masterclass below in the description and you can check it out. The third item I want to talk about in order to overcome stock market fear is to diversify your portfolio. All this means is that you have different investments inside of your stock market accounts. And that way you are not just invested in one investment, like one company, for example, all in Tesla or all in Amazon. You have different investments that you are investing in that is going to help you overcome this fear of losing all of your money in the stock market. Because if you are invested in just one single company and that company goes bankrupt, then you are going to lose money. But if we are diversified, if we have multiple investments inside of our stock market accounts, we are going to have a lot less fear and be a lot less worried about losing all of our money. For example, I like investing in an index fund. This index fund has, I think, almost 4,000 stocks, 4,000 companies inside of just this one fund. So it is all right to do just one investment as long as that investment has multiple investments inside of it. So this fund, if you want to know what it is, I do have another video breaking it down. I'll leave a link above. But this fund has a whole bunch of companies inside of it. So I'm not really worried about just investing in one single fund because it has so many investments inside of that one fund. So there's no way all 4,000 companies are going to go bankrupt at once. Unless, of course, something really bad's happening. But then, like I said before, I'm not going to be worried about what's going on in my stock market investments. I'm probably going to be stocking up on food. And then the fourth item in order to overcome stock market fear is to have some sort of cash reserve. We do want to have some cash on hand. And yes, I do like keeping as little as possible on hand, but we do need something that's going to help us overcome this fear. Because if we do see our investments drop significantly, that can really put panic in us. But if we have some money in the bank, in a savings account, we are not going to be so fearful that we don't have any money at all. We do want to have that emergency fund that we can pull out for any emergencies that come up. For me, I have my savings in Ally, A-L-L-Y. They have a high yield interest savings account. And I like to keep my money there because I like to earn as much money as possible if it is just sitting in a savings account. So I would definitely recommend finding a high yield interest savings account and putting your emergency fund in there so you can at least have a little bit of extra money from the money that's just sitting in your savings. And then item number 5 is to seek advice or guidance from someone that knows about the stock market. Like I mentioned before, I talked to some of my friends that are successful with stock market investing, and I asked them a lot of questions. And I've also done research by watching YouTube videos and learning from others that have been successful with the stock market. You just want to make sure that when you are getting this guidance, that you are getting it from someone that is actually investing in the stock market and has the success record. There are quite a few people out there that just say, oh, you need to buy this hot stock, or you need to invest in this right now. It's going to get you rich overnight. You want to make sure the person you are getting guidance from actually has the things to back up what they are saying. Because sometimes there are people out there that get lucky once, but they don't know how to repeat that luck, right? They think they are successful because one good thing happened, but they are not able to repeat that success over and over. And if you are looking for guidance, like I mentioned before, you can check out my free masterclass. You can click on that link below in the description and see how you can get guidance from me if you would like. And then item number 6 to help you overcome a stock market fear is to practice mindfulness. Mindfulness involves being present in the moment. It helps you to control your actions and your emotions. So if you are seeing your stock market investments start to tank, You don't want to just sell all of those investments and then lock in those losses. You want to be present in the moment and think, all right, why are these investments tanking? Is there something going on in the economy that's making everything tank? Or are these investments not actually good investments anymore? Are these companies no longer stable? Are they not going to pull through? We're able to think through things like this if we are being more mindful. To share an example of this, there is a friend I have at church, and she was telling me that she had invested in the stock market and she had seen all of her investments go down significantly. So she completely locked in those losses. And guess what happened? Things started to come back up. But she was completely done with the stock market, didn't want anything to do with it anymore. She wasn't really practicing that mindfulness and thinking through that decision. It was more of a gut reaction. I know being more mindful has worked for me in this regard, because there are times when investments do go down and you think, oh, did I do something wrong? And you can just take a step back and realize what is really happening. And most likely you didn't make a bad choice. You just have to keep that long-term perspective and realize it's going to take time for these investments to come back up. All right, comment below and tell me what I have missed in order to overcome stock market fear. And if you found this video helpful, please hit that like button and share it with someone else who would like to hear this information, and to the subscribe button to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and to the little bell to get notified on when I post new videos. And if you want to see even more awesome content from me, make sure and check out the videos on the side of the screen. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.